Do you want to know the secret of overcoming drinking permanently? Hello, my name is Sami, and in the last 5 years, I have been quitting 5 different addictions, and now I help other people to do the same with alcohol. So, today I want to talk about one secret of overcoming drinking permanently. And this is very crucial factor of overcoming drinking, and this reveals the real nature of overcoming drinking. So first I want to tell you about one study. So there was a study about graphic signs in cigarette boxes. So nowadays we have pictures about lung cancers and people in their deathbeds in cigarette boxes. And the purpose of these pictures was that doctors think that when they put these pictures in cigarette boxes, they will help people to motivate to quit smoking. But the findings of this study was really interesting. These pictures was not decreasing people's positive attitudes towards smoking, but it increased people's positive attitudes towards smoking. And what is the reason for that? Well, when you see pictures about lung cancers or people in their deathbeds, it will trigger the emotion of fear. And what is the better way to calm your fear than to smoke a cigarette? And the lesson of this study is so significant. You can't use logic to outsmart drinking, because drinking or any other kind of addiction doesn't operate in the realm of logic. But the language of drinking is emotions. Addiction, drinking is 100% emotional problems. We drink because of painful emotions. And this is really key lesson of overcoming drinking. The nature of overcoming drinking is upgrading your emotional life. So we have to be really careful what kind of emotions we produce in our lives, because emotions are the roots of addictive behaviors. So the first principle of emotions in addiction is awareness. You have to become really aware what kind of emotions you feel in your daily life, and you have to become aware what kind of emotions you feel usually before you drink, and really try to understand what leads to these states that leads to drinking. What is the root cause of this state that leads to drinking? Because when you become more aware about your emotional life, then it's way easier to, change your or upgrade your emotional life. So it's just a game of awareness. And the second principle is new design. So it's about designing your life in a way that you produce really quality emotions in your life. When you will feel good about your own life, when you are interested about your own life, when you feel good about yourself and you have healthy relationship with yourself, then there is no need for drinking alcohol, because we don't only want to remove the alcohol from our life, but we want to remove the need for alcohol from our life. Because if we only remove the alcohol from our life, but we still have the need for alcohol, then the sobriety will be a struggle. So, and how you can design your life in a way that you start to produce quality emotions in your life. So you can start to exercise, meditate, journal, read, start some hobbies that interest you, or start a side hustle that you always been wanting to start. Something that really interests you and you like to do, those are usually really good things to do, and things that that increases your health. So the next principle is neuro associations. So if we want to overcome drinking, we have to learn to shift our neuro associations, and we have to use emotions as our advantage, because in addiction usually emotions works against us. So we have to learn to use emotions as our advantage. And one of the ways how you can do it is to change your neuro associations. So one of the most fundamental principles that drives human behavior is the need for avoiding pain. If we have a choice to avoid pain or to gain pleasure, we will always choose to avoid pain. And it's something that is coded into your nervous system. And you can use this as your advantage in overcoming drinking. If you can link very much pain to continuing drinking and very much pleasure to quitting drinking, you will quit instantly. And one of the ways how you can do it, and in my own experience, how I did it, was that when I was trying to quit my 12-year-long cigarette addiction, I linked the goal of quitting cigarettes to becoming a better businessman. And when I did that, I quit very much pain to continuing smoking and very much pleasure to quitting smoking, because continuing smoking meant a pain because then I cannot become better businessman, and quitting smoking meant a lot of pleasure because it meant that I can become better businessman. And at the time it was something that I really desired to become, and I really wanted to become that. So if you can discover something that you want from your heart, and you can link the goal of quitting drinking with that goal, then you can shift your neuro associations. And when you shift your neuro associations, you use your emotions as your advantage, and you will quit almost instantly. And if you do it in a right way, it works like a magic. So that's one way how you can use emotions as your advantage. And what you can learn from this video is that understanding that logic is not the language of drinking. You can't really overcome drinking by using logic or trying to think every negative consequences what happened if you continue drinking, or when you try to shame your behavior. Rarely it doesn't going to work. You have to use your emotions as your advantage in overcoming drinking. So thank you for watching this video, and bye bye.